Friday, and as we get into the weekend, and don't freak out if you have weekend plans, but as we get into the weekend here, it does look like rain chances are going to go up significantly to about 60% or so. So that's something to watch for the weekend, and we'll keep tweaking that forecast throughout the week.
Should I start now? Or maybe now? Hollywood flow. My artist name is Elijah Kenny, which pretty much is a flip of my middle name, my first name. So Kenny, Elijah, I just flipped it. Elijah Kenny. Where am I from? I am from Fort Pierce, Florida, South Florida. Man, I have so many influences. Like off the bat, I always like whenever I'm just creating something and I want to strive for greatness, the artists that I picture that I think are great are like Andre 3000, Jay-Z, they come to mind, Lil Wayne, Eminem. Kendrick was a huge one, especially when he first came up. I was like, wow, I could probably do this too, because his and I can relate to him in a lot of ways. Plus his voice was like similar, so I spent a long time, and Nas too, Mos Def, and just really trying to learn how to do the craft. I was already sort of doing poetry. I remember when I started kind of getting into poetry. I think I had like a girlfriend at the time. I used to like write stuff for her all the time, so it was a lot of practice. And so, obviously I loved hip hop. I grew up on all types of people like Pac, Biggie, who are also influences. I can go all day, like I'm influenced by everyone. But what I did is I just took the time and looked for who did it well and who the rappers, who the artists agreed do it well. So I just look into that. I'd like read their lyrics. I would practice how they did it, understand the concept, and then I'll kind of do it, and then I made it my own. And somehow turned it into what you see today. I would describe my music as sort of random, because I do work with sort of weird, different sounds. I always want to try something different that's contrary to like what people are already making. So it really is challenging, because at first when you hear things, you're like, I don't really know how to approach this. But then eventually I just found a zone. And so I'd say sort of thought-provoking in the way of kind of get you out of your comfort zone of what you normally listen to. I like to personally have fun with it. Like I seem to work better when I'm just in a positive state of mind. I mean when I'm negative, it flows out too. But in terms of like continually making like consistently good music, I like being positive. I just enjoy that. A feeling that's significant to my work, as in my music, from what I've heard, it was just like a lot of excitement. At least that's what I've been received. Like, wow, it's high energy, it's excitement. So it would probably be high energy, creative in terms of, like I said before, just being like out of your comfort zone. And I do touch on the things in deep, thought-provoking things that make you kind of think a little bit, whether or not you agree that of whatever I'm talking about. You still can think about what I'm probably saying in there. Like, okay, that's a different perception, but I love how you put that together. I love the way I make songs is I kind of come up with a problem, and making the song is the solution or my perception of it. I have a song to where, okay, how do I perceive peace? And so I made the song to where I start speaking about peace and how does it make sense to me, or do I even think it's real? And I think that's really fun, because I feel like when I made this song, it's like I'm answering that question. So, and I do the same thing like Rendezvous. Rendezvous was, right now you feel this way. And so it was actually it started off as like a depressing topic, because I think something had just happened with me. And so it started off on like a slower song. But then I was like, nah, let me put this on something aggressive. And so that ended up becoming a really high energy song. But when you hear it, like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about, but he was able to turn that into like an exciting song. And that was really fun. It just felt good that I could do that. Shoutouts for sure. one of my closer friends, and he also had a song, and he produced a song on my project named Doze Edo. He also helped engineer my other song, which is my most popular song called Dolo. And so his name Dozakis. Shout out to Dozakis. Also shout out to Pax, who's the voice on the intro to the project I dropped. He also produced the second to last joint that I dropped on the same project. And so these two, they're really supportive. First of all, I like working with people who they also, not only do they like my music, they're just easy to work with, and they're really super creative. And that just helps me, again, like step into that level of creativity. It's like a challenge. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Lock Messiah. Shout out to Taylor B. Shout out to CK the Legend. Shout out to John Gibbs, which is a big, he's out in Cali. I think he's like an Interscope Records. And he was able to get on my song. Shout out to Artie Basquiat, who's on the song, and he produced another song. And so just everyone who's involved and helped put this together. Even though I recorded it and I did the engineering of it, a lot of people it took a lot of people to help me put that together, and that was exciting. So I like the bonding process of like working with artists, and I want to do that more. Like when I work with things in the future, just working with artists in person. I'm trying to focus on that as well. So it's easiest to go on my Instagram, and it's literally in the link on top of it. So my Instagram is Elijah Kenny _. That's all it is, Elijah Kenny _. Or if you can just look me up, it's easy to find me. If you go on Apple Music, I'm also on SoundCloud. I just put the mixtape out on SoundCloud, On the Way to mixtape on SoundCloud. We also have, I put it on YouTube as well. And under all of these things, all you gotta do is look up Elijah Kenny. So SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all of my social media is Elijah Kenny or Elijah Kenny _. It's very easy to find. And if you have trouble, the safest way is to just go on my Instagram. It's usually the link right there, and it has everything from every interview I've ever done to all the songs I've ever done to the videos I've dropped. All right, Elijah Kenny. Make sure you go out to my show on the 25th right here in the Felt Studios. And you can feel me in person, right? It's called Felt Studios, right? So y'all come out.
On Friday, and as we get into the weekend, and don't freak out if you have weekend plans, but if we get into the weekend here, it does look like rain chances are going to go up significantly to about 60% or so. So that's something to watch.